Viewers, welcome back to the Personal Injury Law Show. It's that time of show when we've got the mailbag. Good evening, Anna.
Good evening, team. Good evening, viewers.
What do you think of the show about rear-end collisions?
Very interesting. It's so out of your control, so it's something you really need to know your rights about.
It just shows that when you're driving on the road, a lot of people don't give enough space. Viewers have got to understand that if the guy in front brakes suddenly, you're always at fault from being when you're at the back. So the key to it is make sure you give yourself a safe distance to brake in case of an emergency. So don't get too close and then slam the brakes and you miss the car in front and then the guy behind you hits you. So please keep a safe distance.
Well, they do say, Tony, keep, what, 2 seconds?
I
Between you and the front car. I think it's something like that.
I look at it in terms of car lengths.
I think it's always going to be longer than you expect it is to be able to stop, though.
And then you've got to drive to the conditions. It could be a wet road. Wow. It could be ice on the ground, dew.
Well, that's right. You've got to drive at appropriate speeds as well.
That's right.
And you just got to pay attention, Tony. It's just pure and simple.
I still think you've got to keep distances, but that's important. There's a lot of tailgaters out there. And mind you, if you tailgate, you do get booked. So don't forget that. And the fines have gone up significantly. Yeah. Anna, questions?
Yes. The first one is from Gavin in Coburg. He writes, Dear PI Show, I sustained an injury to my right knee in a car accident back in 1993. It was fairly well recovered. However, in December 2011, I was involved in another accident when four-wheel driving and injured it again. Am I precluded from claiming entitlements for my knee as I have already made a claim for it in the past? Don, that's an interesting situation. What information can you offer here?
Oh, look, definitely you've got a claim for compensation with the TAC. Even if it's an aggravation of a pre-existing injury, it's still an injury for the purposes of the TAC, so therefore lodge your claim for compensation.
Well, Don, it might not even be the same part of the knee. It could be a different ligament, it could be a meniscus, it could be anything.
It could be anything. So look, it could be a new injury, an aggravation, exacerbation. There's still injuries for the purpose of the Transport Accident Act. So therefore, lodge your claim, and you've got timelines, 12 months from the date of the accident.
And Gavin's got rights to no-fault benefits, which is medical and like expenses.
That's correct. So
also loss of income.
Yep, medical like expenses, loss of income for a period of up to 3 years, and also you've got a lump sum if you sustain a permanent injury. And
knees are very notorious, so if it's a serious injury, you've got common law rights.
Well, knees are a weight-bearing joint, so unfortunately they're not good injuries to have, so therefore could have a serious injury depending on the extent of the injury, and if he has a serious injury, he has a common law claim for damages for pain and suffering and loss of income.
That's it.
So Gavin should lodge a TAC claim at this point?
Definitely contact the TAC and lodge a claim as soon as possible, and obviously get the treatment, and you need medical certificates.
Don, the time limits are pretty significant too.
12 months to lodge a claim, and then a further 2 years if you don't lodge it within the first 12 months, but you must provide reasons to the TAC, and the TAC use their discretion.
And to make a TAC claim, you have to call up, don't you now?
Yeah, to make a TAC claim, you have to ring their number, and they'll send you out a claim form, and then you have to fill it out and return it.
Don, what I've noticed is a lot of clients are very loose in their description of how they got injured. That's pretty important they get it right. Yeah,
definitely. And look, just as cases that we're doing in tonight's show, Tony, with that Mr. Nikolofsky, the plaintiff caught on the film, I mean, his claim forms, when he initially filled out his claim forms for his own insurance company, he didn't put down any injuries, and the judge used that against him.
Yeah, he didn't put down the pre-existing stuff.
He didn't put anything. He just put any injuries, and it was a no. So, and that was used against. So, quite important that you document all your injuries in the claim form and get it right, because there aren't many questions in these forms.
And with the advent of computers the way they are now, and you go back 30 years, everything you've ever claimed shows up. You can't hide it.
That's exactly right.
And medical treatment from 1985.
But you should make sure you list these prior injuries. So in Gavin's circumstance, the 93 injury should be listed on the form.
You should. And there are questions there. Have you had prior injuries? Put yes. Okay, so just make sure. And also just to ensure that if you're not aware of anything, you can put that in a claim form, I'm not sure about it, or will be provided later. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. Just
leave it blank.
Don't guess it.
Leave it blank.
Exactly.
Good. All right, let's get on to the next question. Dear PI Show, I am an elderly driver. I was involved in an accident recently and sustained injuries, but I am wary of reporting these for fear of the police taking away my licence due to my age. Is there still any way I can obtain assistance?
For a claim for compensation to be accepted by the TAC, it must be reported to the police.
And you don't know how old the driver is. I mean, I guess if you've got problems with your eyesight or you're lacking agility and things like that, you've got to be careful. You wouldn't want to be on the road because, you know, I've got a friend whose grandfather's had 4 accidents in a month and very fortunate that no one's been killed, I reckon. So if you think that your driving skills are significantly impaired by age or eyesight or whatever, I think you're kidding yourself if you're on the road, because you do need your reflexes. And I don't want to discriminate against elderly drivers, but at some point in time, everything comes to an end. Either our driving, you know, our football careers, our gardening careers, our planning to fly to the moon. I mean, you've just got to make a decision, because it's not only going to impact on you, you've got to look at the fact that you could kill someone else or maim someone. So, I think it's a bit of a selfish sort of attitude to say that I'm worried I'm going to lose my licence, because maybe she's already telling us and the flag's up to say I shouldn't be on the road anyway.
Yeah, and you can also, if you have concerns about another driver, being an elderly driver, you can report them to Vic Roads. Vic Roads would investigate, put the onus back on the driver to say they're
I think we've just lost the viewer, Don.
So, look, but I think in terms of any assistance, if you're looking for medical expenses and wages from the TAC, if she's working, and also lump sum, you must report the accident to the police for the claim to be accepted.
Okay, some valuable information there. And the last one comes from Petro. Petro writes, Dear PI Show, I am from Queensland and I came down to Melbourne for a holiday. I rented a car and was driving down to the Victorian Surf Coast when I was rear-ended by a Victorian registered car. I have sustained some soft tissue injuries and I think I will need to get some treatment. What rights do I have here?
Okay. Well, so it's Queensland resident in Victoria?
Yeah, Queensland resident in Victoria, hit by a Victorian car.
And driving a Queensland registered vehicle, so it's Victorian law.
Oh, Queensland
no rented car from Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Well, look, the rights are in Victoria. It's the law of the land that applies. So, same as every other claim, just lodge your claim with the TAC. But if it was a interstate registered vehicle, any common law claim against that vehicle will be brought against the insurer, the appropriate insurance for the interstate. So, Tony, if it was a New South Wales registered vehicle, they'll have their own insurance company, not the TAC.
And the same with Queensland.
Same as Queensland, or every other state.
But I guess the thing that viewers should know, Don, is that each jurisdiction, New South Wales and Queensland, got different time limits to lodge claims. So you've got to be careful of that. And it's important that you do something quick, because the timelines are so different.
Yeah. And they have different rights as well. So if you're driving a Victorian registered vehicle interstate and you're in an accident interstate, you still have claims and entitlements under the TAC legislation or Transport Accident Act. So, yeah, look, in that case, lodge a claim for compensation with the TAC.
Beautiful. Viewers, we do love getting your questions, so please keep sending them in. You can contact us via Facebook, Twitter, or on our website, which is www.thepishow.com. And on that site, you can also catch up on our previous episodes.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, viewers, for watching. And please stay tuned for next week's episode and stay safe.